I actually really like Michael's comment because, most of it. What makes a state or county think that they have the right to increase taxes on a property at such breakneck speeds? Taxation is theft. While I don't agree that taxation is theft, I think we are all responsible for paying taxes at whatever rate that our governments establish, right? Not maybe at whatever rates, but what makes a state think that they can and have the right to increase taxes on property at such breakneck speeds? Here's one of the beautiful things about California is that we don't. We have something called Prop 8. Prop 8 limits the amount of property taxes, about the assessed value that your property can increase on an annual basis. Your property value can only increase 2% per year, plus any special assessments that are levied by your special tax districts, if any. So at most, the value of your property is only going to increase by 2% every year. And that's part of the conversation with Prop 19, is that because we have Prop 8, property values have been artificially taxed at a lower rate, right? Prop 8 went into effect in 1978. So since 1978, people who have owned the same property since 1978 have only seen a 2% increase on an annual basis of their property tax basis, which means their property tax value, so for the sake of being easy and using easy numbers, let's say that they bought that property in 1977 for $50,000, which was a lot of money back then. Their property tax basis, hang on, let me go do some math because I'm an attorney and I can't do that math in my head. Okay, so I did the math. So if you bought the house in 1977 for $50,000, and this also assumes an annual increase of 2% every single year from 1977 to 2024, which is like 47 years, the value of the property the taxable value of the property is only about $127,000. Okay, I'll guarantee you that the actual market value of that property is not $126,000. It's probably more like, I don't know, in San Diego, average home value is over $800,000, right? So they're not being taxed about $700,000 what market would bear. But that's because in 1978, the voters of California said, no, we're going to cap what we can increase our property taxes at, not our property taxes, but the actual assessed value of our property taxes. We're going to cap that at 2%. When people talk about property taxes in California being insane, they're not wrong. But when you look at what we get for the value of our property taxes, and that is, I know, open for debate, and this is really not, we could talk about that another time. When you compare it to similar metropolitan areas, like I'm from Chicago. If you look at the property tax rates in the city of Chicago and Cook County and the surrounding collar counties, the amount of property taxes that you pay on real estate there compared to California is insane. Insane. In Will County, where my family is from, a $500,000 house is going to be paying probably $15,000 to $18,000 a year in property taxes. A $500,000 house. In the DC metro area where I used to live, a $500,000 house right outside the Beltway in Virginia, property taxes were about $5,000. Compare that to California, and we're getting a better deal on our property taxes. So I know we're kind of going all over the place with this thing, but what makes a state or county think that they have the right to increase the taxes? They do. But California voters 47 years ago said, you can do that, but we're going to put a cap on it. And in the last 47 years, the voters of California have not changed that. So we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, and we're putting bounds around what our local and state governments can do. And there is a lot of discourse around that, and they're saying, well, no, we should be removing this because we could be generating significantly more tax revenue if we just take away Prop 8 and we bring everybody up to market. And if we did that, there would be a housing collapse in California, period.